Hi, I am Eric Electron, and this is the Dope Science Show.
Hello, welcome to the Dope Science Show with Stephanie Lowe, aka Science Stuff with Steph. Thank you for your ears and minds. I hope that the show sparks new ideas, new opportunities, and conversations. I want us to learn and grow. We are all curious, innovative, and experimental in our daily lives. We are all dope scientists. Hello, you guys. This is episode 19 on the Dope Science Show. My name is Stephanie, aka Science Stuff with Steph. This is May, and it is Mental Health Awareness Month. Let's send some love and understanding and empathy for all of us who have, I think we all have mental health. So sometimes you may consider it balanced. Sometimes you may feel unbalanced. I think we need to understand why we have different moods and use them as feedback as how we should change or view our lives. Or maybe you just need to roll with it. Maybe you're sad because you have a reason to be sad. You know, my family, there's quite a few of us who have or who are bipolar or have manic disorders, and it's been a learning experience, some good, some bad, and what we're learning is that's just who we are, and we can manage ourselves the best we can with medication, with healthy lifestyles, and also looking at it as how can I make this an opportunity. For example, I can speak for myself. I'm my most creative when I'm emotionally turbulent, you know, and it may feel not necessarily a good feeling, but it's from that place where I can write my best, you know. I just feel like I'm in touch with a side of myself where I can be creative. I can be creative as well when I'm not sad or angry, but I just feel like there's just another level that I could be creative at when I'm coming from a dark place even. And for me, being creative helps keep me from being self-destructive. When in the past, when I would feel feelings of like this sense of angst and like I had this energy that needed to come out and I didn't know what to do with it, and it would turn into this like self-destructive feelings, and I would act out on them, and it was something I felt like I couldn't control, and I would feel better once I hurt myself to wherever I needed to do. And so a couple years ago actually, my boyfriend broke up with me, and I was completely heartbroken. And so in my pits of despair, I knew it was temporary, but it was still like hard, you know. My best friend, hey Angel, I love you. She said, hey, didn't you used to write poetry? Why don't you write? And I thought, well, whatever, I guess I could do that. I mean, I was just like, I'll try it. And I just started writing, and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote, and I got in touch with my creative side, and those urges and feelings, I started to look at them differently. And I just, instead of feeling like I needed to hurt myself, it turned into pick up a pen, you know. That was just as fulfilling. And somehow that journey, and I'm not going to tell the whole story yet, but that journey brought me to the Dope Science Show. That's one path that led me here. So that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit in regards to mental health awareness. You know, let's have empathy, let's have understanding, let's be open-minded, let's not look at mental health as a negative. Let's just look at it as for what it is. You know, it's a way to measure your efficiency or balance. It's just a unit of measure when we say health. You know, it's like your status, your mental status. You know, maybe people wouldn't feel so negative if they thought about it as a mental status, you know. Like, I'm down right now. I'm up right now. And, you know, a lot of people just need someone to talk to. And sometimes you can't talk to the people closest to you. So reach out. Pick up, look up a hotline. There are so many groups and so many communities, and just say hi. You never know. Just put in a little effort. And if you still feel like you can't talk to someone, like, draw something, build something, because you're going to be able to find some sort of release by being creative or productive. I don't know why, but our brains are connected that way. What else did I want to talk about? I could talk about a lot of things. One breakthrough I had recently, like yesterday, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because that'll be a whole nother show. I discovered or really understood from a wonderful blog that you guys should all be listening to. Not listening to, I think she has some podcasts, but mostly reading, is brain pickings. Have you guys heard of brain pickings? Oh, if you haven't, I am honored that I get to share this with you. I first heard about it from Tim Ferriss. He's like a Renaissance man from Silicon Valley who has decided to be a lifetime learner, and he's been sharing his journey. And that's also a path that brought me to the Dope Science Show, by the way. And he promoted this blog called The Brain Pickings, and where she talks about science, philosophy, art, humanity, like everything you could think of about the human experience, and thinking about it from an analytical as well as philosophical way. Is on that blog, and it's just amazing. When I feel overwhelmed by life, not only do I read science articles so that I can have a sense of hope and even escapism, I also read her blog because it like speaks to my soul. So I found this article that she promoted. It was talking about a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. So, in short, a fixed mindset is when you have an idea in your head of who you are and what society should be, as far as this is good and this is bad, and anything that falls outside of the realm of good and bad, according to these ideas you have, it affects your sense of self. So, if you get a bad grade on a test, you feel like you yourself are failing, and you're not fulfilling who you're supposed to be, and you're bad. And this mindset leads us to be fearful of risk and just being afraid of failure and afraid of fear. And that's where a lot of my emotional turmoil comes from, because I'll look at people and I want to live, hey, I want to be more exciting. I want to be traveling. I want to do this. I want to do that, but I'm afraid. I can't do that. I can't, and it's like a constant battle between what I want and what I'm afraid to do to get there. And so there are aspects of me that are always growing and looking at opportunities, and that aspect of my mind is the growth mindset, where you see your journey as a journey, and you see these challenges as feedback from a system, like playing a game where you realize, oh, this way isn't working, and you aren't a bad person because you're facing challenges. That means you're actually moving towards your goal, and as you get closer to your goal, you're going to face challenges, because that is how the world works. So if you just keep moving forward and don't take those challenges personally, and be more strategic and not be fearful, and don't associate those failures, those fears, as anything that's a reflection of who you are as a person, and you're always looking to grow, the possibilities are infinite. And that is a growth mindset. And that's what I'm trying to be consciously aware of, so that I realize how it works. And not only is this isn't just like positive, self-help talk. It's something that scientists understand as well. And that's how they build artificial intelligence and come up with algorithms that allow them to gain the artificial intelligence to gain more skills. When the computers, I'm using the term computer, but when the system faces a challenge towards its goal, it just learns like, okay, that's what happens when you do A, B, and C. okay, let's try D, G, and F. See what happens. Like, it just finds another way. And that is what a growth mindset is, and that is how you move forward. Okay, so I know I've been talking for quite a while. I also wanted to let you know that I have an awesome episode featuring the girls behind the podcast, RootsnTech. Have you guys heard of RootsnTech by Dina and Brighton? Dina and Brighton are two wonderful women who have the biggest goals that you can imagine, where they want to be able to make an impact worldwide that will empower women, and in particularly people of color and people of the African diaspora, to see themselves in places of victory, and particularly in technology, because they advocate and are sharing a story with their podcast that connects the original people, Africans, with technology, because people for some reason think we're not connected, but we've always been connected with technology, and we want to see ourselves and connect and grow together and collaborate. So no further ado, I would like to start the show, and I will talk to you guys soon.
Dream of a land my soul is from. I hear a hand stroke on a drum. Shades of delight, cocoa hue. Some secluded place, shades of delight, cocoa hue, it's just the night, Afro blue, whispering trees echo the sight, passionate pleas, tender shades of delight, cocoa hue.
Hello, you guys. Welcome to the Dope Science Show. I'm so excited about this episode today. I get to be a fangirl for a moment, so please forgive me. I am just myself, and when I'm excited, I've got to be excited. Today I have two wonderful guests on my show, Brighton and Dina. I'll let them introduce themselves more formally, but I'm super excited because I follow them because they're one of the hot people online that I follow. So when I say that, I mean these women are powerful, they're smart, they're stylish, they seem to have everything together and so inspiring. So they're one of the people, these are the type of people I aspire to be around. And I'm so excited to have you guys here. Hello, Dina. Hello, Brighton.
Hi. Hello, Stephanie. Thank you for having us.
Yes. I'm so excited you guys are here. I wanted to also mention that these are the creators of the Roots and Tech podcast, and they also have a platform that they collaboratively work together. Brighton, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then I'll let you go, Dina, after that.
Great. So, hello, Dope Science Show. My name is Brighton, and I'm also a follower of the Dope Science Show. So it's so cool to have mutual fangirling back and forth here. I just love it when I see Black women in tech and science doing things that are not often the norm, especially, what we grew up in, some time ago, it wasn't exactly the norm, not what we saw on television. We're now seeing shows such as Hidden Figures. So it's just so great to meet other women. So a little bit about me. My background is in social work and teaching, and I did a lot of work in creating policy for Native American high schools and sexual assaults, and also teaching a lot of sexual health. So that's kind of my science background comes in, preparing for occupational therapy. And I'm also a filmmaker. I did a documentary years ago when I was coming out of high school called My Nappy Roots. And I started that as a really short documentary all about my natural hair, dealing with that and the image of becoming a Black woman, and also realizing that society did not completely accept me for who I was naturally. And that's a lot of the reason that Dina and I have created RootsnTech, is to talk about the experience of the Black woman in the tech world within America, but really of the diaspora, where RootsnTech is really the diasporic podcast. And not only are we talking about mainly Black women, we also do talk about Black men too, but mostly Black women. But we also talk about the impact of Africa on technology, because we believe that we are the original creators. We are the original people who crossed all mediums and created something innovative and new to change the world.
Wow, that's amazing. That's so exciting. If you guys haven't listened to the podcast, you must. It's so inspiring and open, and it feels like when I listened to it, I felt like, wow, I'm getting to see and learn more about a world that I didn't feel a part of. And I love that you guys work together, because you guys are creating this community, and this is just another reflection of what you are creating together. And Dina, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and you guys will see more about how you can tell why they're such good partners right now. Go ahead.
Sure. So, hi, Dope Science Show audience. I'm very happy to be here and sharing some insight into our podcast with you. So, like Stephanie mentioned, my name's Dina. I actually am a woman in tech, and I've worked in tech for over 5 years now. And so I'm an enterprise architect, which no one knows what that really means in real life. So a little explanation of what that actually means. An enterprise architect is someone who works more on the governance side of the technical world. So basically what I do is make sure everything is in compliance, make sure that we have kind of like streamlining processes to make sure that we're working effectively and all the while, but still maintaining the correct information and making sure everything's accurate. So that's what I do during the day. And then, as we mentioned at night, I work with RootsnTech. So my passion for RootsnTech is similar to Brighton's, but a little bit different, because being a woman who's worked in tech over 5 years, I noticed that when I go, for instance, to conferences or go to different tech events, there's the great possibility that there's not going to be, let's say, a handful of women that look like me in the room. And also, not just another woman, but just another Black person. And so my passion for this comes from, there are a lot of great people creating great products in the world, and creating products that maybe we don't know about as a community. And so my passion is for everyone to at least have an idea of what people are doing, have an idea of the people who are doing great things, and maybe it's a product that you can start using over something that probably you're just using because someone told you. Why not use something to support the community? So that's kind of my background and my story.
That's so cool. And you guys I love seeing great things come together from the beginning. And that's what's so cool about following social media accounts of new brands and startups and inspiring people, because you get to see, it all develop. And I thank you guys for going on the show. I'm so excited because I want to know. I want to know. I want more people to know about what you guys are doing and what kind of community that you're developing. And why, I am curious. You could have focused on anything. You guys are both, very accomplished, well-educated, ambitious. Why, in particular, did you, beyond wanting to see yourselves, why do you think tech is important? Like, why that particular medium? And anyone can jump in.
This is Brighton. So the very beginning of RootsnTech, for me, of like why tech is important, it came, I think I talked a little bit about the documentary My Nappy Roots. And so the documentary My Nappy Roots ended up going to different shows, winning like the Hollywood Black Film Festival, to, winning shows in Nigeria, to Germany and France. And so we were just going around and having these great conversations with women, and that turned into a show called Nappywood, which is a natural hair show in Los Angeles that happens once a year, and we're now in our 5th year. And last year, I actually met Dina online through Blavity, which is awesome. Probably the best person I ever met online was Dina, to be honest.
Aww.
But we met trying to do a millennial summit for Nappywood. And Nappywood, as I was saying, grew out of this conversation around film, women looking for education, looking for community empowerment, because hair tells the story of like our economy, it tells the story of our history, our culture. And I also believe a lot of our technology can be tied to it as well. So we're doing a millennial summit, and the theme of it was the revolution will be digitized. And that sort of just kind of clicked something where that actually created the word, or that created the brand called RootsnTech, this millennial summit. Dina flew out from Chicago, where she lives, out to Los Angeles. And we put together this like great conference. And to me, it was just so apparent that this is definitely the time. There's so much happening right now for Black millennials and technology. And I was just so amazed with our 3-hour conversation that was passionate, and people had so much to add in, and we had other young millennials who were running their own businesses and doing some tech related ventures themselves. So that's kind of what got me really interested in talking about tech, and why I think having a podcast just talking about Black people in tech is so important.
Mm-hmm. That's
awesome. And then to add on to what Brighton said, I think another thing that came up from the conversation when we did the panel at Nappywood was also the idea of resources. Mm-hmm. So everyone kind of had the whole, well, you could go here and you can go here, but all of the resources weren't in one collective space. So for instance, if Brighton knew where to buy a certain hair product, and I had no clue, because I had no clue what this hair product was. How are we supposed to know where to look for certain products? So it's kind of like the whole concept of having a resource in one place, a resource where you can listen and, recognize new products and new people, but it's all in one space, as opposed to, I think a lot of resources right now are kind of scattered within the space. So definitely becoming more cohesive, as opposed to right now, I feel like everyone's kind of got their hand here, over there, that kind of thing.
I think that's genius. I feel that I'm searching for the same thing, And my perspective, I'm definitely in touch with tech. And so I have like a STEAM type of perspective. But what I'm looking for and what I see other millennials looking for is curation. You know, you want to be able to go to one place and have it like curated for you. And and like that's beautiful, and it's wonderful to see us being in charge of that curation. It's our narrative, you know, and I'm excited because with what you guys are doing, I feel like it's creating a community of tightly connected collaborations, you know, because Dina reached out to me, now I know Brighton, and I met Dina online by promoting Blavi's Afrotech conference. You know, it's just like, you know how I'm kind of rambling because I do that, you guys.
Well, that's like so funny because I mean I think that's like the power of technology. Is like I didn't even know you and Dina had a relationship actually, and I already followed you, so I was like, oh yeah, the Dope Science Show, and so now like hearing it, I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that part about you and Dina, like because of Afrotech, I just like already followed you, but I think that's like what's so powerful about the new social tools that are out right now and using it to connect to other Black women. It's so cool.
It is super cool because you know that the algorithms are putting us in the same social bubble, like on all our social media. So,
right.
I'll follow you on Instagram, I'll follow you on Twitter, I'll follow you on YouTube, and then your followers and so on. And they're creating these online communities where you may not even be conscious of it. You're like, oh, what a coincidence. I follow them too. But it's an algorithm that's like directing us towards, like-mindedness. It's
definitely the bubble, right?
Exactly. And it works negatively, but also can be positive, you know, especially because we're reaching out and we're like, oh, let's take this to another space. Let's take this to a podcast. Let's take this to a live event. And it's exciting. It's, it's super exciting.
Black girl magic algorithm.
That's what we'll call it, Black Girl Magic Algorithm. And that's awesome because I need to meet more Black women and more women. If you guys listen to my show, I've had women on the show, but as I release and record, I find that I record with more men than I do women. And it has everything to do with me. I'm trying to learn how to connect more with women. I have some issues that I'm working through as far as that sense of always kind of being an outsider growing up and not feeling like I ever fit in. And those are the cool kids and feeling this, and it's in particular with women that I really have this like false narrative that I'm working through. So that's also why I'm super happy to talk to you guys, because every time I talk to awesome women like you, I realize that it's just this fake thing in my head. So yes.
I so feel you on that. That is pretty, accurate. But especially being like growing up as a Black girl who's interested in things that are a little different than others. I mean, you know, I hated Boys to Men, and then I obviously felt so outcasted because I didn't know any of the lyrics. But I mean, you know, whenever you do something a little bit outside the culture, I think I see Black culture being a little bit different today with, you know, because I was teaching. So I feel like some students, they're like a little bit more open to embracing someone who's a little different than them, you know? But I do think that when the age we grew up in, it was not completely accepting for all kinds of Black people to exist. That's how I felt, so.
I had a kind of different experience. So I actually grew up, when I went to high school, I went to an all-girls high school. So I was around women all the time. But I guess what made it a little bit harder was, it was the aspect of, yes, it was a majority white school, but it was kind of like, because I was into tech and kind of different things than other people were, I played sports, but then there was like, you know, the academic side, I was more into tech and, you know, computer classes, and it was kind of moments where it was like, how do you relate to someone? Because there was no one that was like, for instance, a Black woman who was doing computer classes, or there weren't people who were interested in those things. So it's definitely hard any way you slice it, because one, it's kind of like the community you're around. You're at a younger age, you're like forced around certain people due to just things such as you can't travel that far because you don't have a car until you're like 16,
Right.
or you're around a certain neighborhood of kids. So it's definitely been an interesting adventure going from like you're in all-girls school, you're forced to be around these people, and then I like grew up and it's like you get to choose your own tribe, and it's a lot. It's been an interesting ride, I'll put it that way.
Definitely, and it's liberating. I started to experience that more as I got out of high school, but even as an adult in my 30s, I still have to shut down that voice inside who's like, oh, I'm scared to say something to this person. I'm afraid to reach out and collaborate because am I good enough? Like those thoughts, and I find that a lot of people who have ideas and want to be a part of something that you're creating or I'm creating or do something unique, that it's that they're like, how do I even reach out? How do I network with people I would like to learn and grow with? Do you guys have any tips that you can share, or something that you feel you've done that has worked for you?
I guess I'll start. So this is Dina, since you guys kind of put me on blast that I meet everyone on social media. I guess so. I have met, that's kind of where I've met a lot of people that I've become good friends with, was actually social media. So I guess it's been an organic relationship. Like, for instance, if you're in a Twitter chat and you're talking and you see someone's responses who are kind of, when someone has a similar mindset or a similar lifestyle to what you're used to, and it's kind of like, oh, you connect online. Why wouldn't you just ask them, oh, would you like to go to something and connect in real life? Because the whole thing is you can connect to anybody you want online and be basically anyone can be anything online because you're behind a computer. But if you don't meet in real life and kind of grow that connection, you won't really know if it's true, if you guys still have that similar thought. So I always say just reach out. I mean, I know it's going to be awkward at first, but if you keep doing it and then you keep meeting people in real life, eventually it's just going to be a thing of the past, because you're going to grow past that point of I'm afraid or I don't want to reach out. So I say just grow past the fear. I guess another thing is also, it's just don't force it. You don't, if someone doesn't want to meet with you, forget them. Then they're not part of your tribe. But stay true to who you are. You know who you are. You know your interests and your likes. So just don't force anything.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
I mean, it's always the simplest answers that are the truth.
Right.
Yeah, this is Brighton. I have to say Dina's optimism is pretty awesome when it comes to collaborations.
I agree. I mean, it's like, and I know people want things to be more complicated so they can have an excuse for why they can't do it. But so I'm glad that you kept it simple. I know people who will listen to this episode and be like, but how can I make it more complicated so I can tell you how I can't do that? So the truth is, it's just doing it. And even though I might confess that I hesitate, I'm working towards it. I'm so excited that you guys are on the show. So I'm like, yes, more women. I've got these ladies on the show. I can get other ladies on the show, that are maybe I don't know them yet, but I admire them and I can do that. And one of the things that have helped me and what you guys embody and are putting together yourself are Black Tech conferences, or conferences where you're meeting with people that you want to know. I know you guys have a couple of conferences coming up, or events. Do you guys want to share that with the show so they can know where they can catch it, put it in their calendar?
Yeah, I'll just talk about the dates, and then Dina, you can go into the tech therapy part if you want to do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so the first date that we have coming up is the weekend of May 5th in San Francisco Bay Area. We're going to be hosting our very first tech therapy brunch. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be food, and then there's going to be about several hours or so to meet some really powerful women in tech who are just doing great things. Some unicorns, those who have raised over $1 million, hopefully will be there. And then also in June, we're looking forward to having a tech therapy brunch. And I think it's a collaboration, actually, that Dina can tell us a little bit more about. But that will be around, I believe it's June 7th, around the Blavity Empower Her conference, which I also would encourage people to go to. I went to it last year in New York. But back to us, I guess. So that's in June. And I'll let Dina tell you a little bit more about tech therapy and more about that collab that's happening in Chicago in June.
All right. So with tech therapy in San Francisco Bay Area, so the whole thing behind tech therapy is obviously being a Black woman in tech. I know what it's like to be the only one of us in a room. And so our thought was being that women and men are also invited to this as well. Don't think that it's just women, but people sometimes don't have that opportunity to just be open and sit in a room and just reveal their innermost thoughts or even seek advice from other people, because sometimes you just are afraid. You don't want to ask. And I think we kind of covered that earlier with a question. And just sometimes you don't think that anyone wants to listen. And so with tech therapy, what we really want to have happen is just have a kind of like a community talk back, like just anything that happens in the tech space that really just you need help with or resources or you just need someone to talk to. We want to have that conversation, and that's what we're hoping with the tech therapy event. So if you guys are in the Bay Area, we would love if you guys would get a ticket. We're going to start promoting and have a link for the event very soon. And then our event in June, we don't have a set date yet, but we're trying to have it the week of Empower Her. So hopefully if anyone's here for the Blavity in Chicago for the Blavity conference, we would love to see you. And if we don't have it that weekend, we still would love to meet you. So our event then, we're kind of thinking of a kind of, because it is Empower Her, it'd be more of a women-geared event, just for women to fellowship and have conversation, meet other women, and there'll be more details coming out about that in the next few weeks. So
I just want to add on to that you don't have to be like a super techie person. So like for me, Brighton speaking, like I'm doing a business pitch right now, competition, and I'm trying to start an app, but I'm a non-technical founder of this app, right? No tech background, but someone like me could definitely be at tech therapy to even talk about, oh my gosh, it's so difficult figuring out, workarounds, or like, how did you find out how to, create apps without code? Like Tara Reid, that's another amazing Black woman you should actually talk to, Stephanie, I think. But she does.
I've been stalking her forever.
Oh, cool. Yeah, me too, right? Yeah, so I'm in her like apps without code class right now, and learning as a non-technical founder of an app. It's just I have my own little things that I would love to talk to other women about, especially other Black people in technology. So so it's not only just for the techies. Non-technical people are welcome as well.
Right. So basically we should say it's for anyone who's interested in tech. I mean, obviously anyone who works in tech, and anyone who just has like that passion for tech, and maybe you haven't disrupted the industry yet, but you kind of want to get into tech and you don't know where to start. So it doesn't have to technically be like developers or someone who codes.
Right.
It's for everybody.
Hey, could be for me. I'm like, let me look at my calendar.
Yes.
That sounds really cool. I'm like, that sounds really exciting. I definitely will share it with anyone and everyone who wants to hear about it. I'm definitely going to look at my calendar to see if I can make it, because it sounds really good. From my experience, going to events where people are being optimistic, innovative, and there's a sense of community and, mentorship, it really doesn't even matter what the subject is. So whether you're in tech, whether you're black, whether you're a woman, if you want to be around people who are going to inspire you and just get that energy to propel you to whatever your next goal is, I highly recommend you guys check out these events, because that's just how I do things, and that's my tip.
Three little birds sat on my window, and they told me I don't need to worry. Summer came like cinnamon, so sweet. Little girls double dutch on the concrete. Maybe sometimes we got it wrong, but it's alright. The more things seem to change, the more they stay the same. Ooh, don't you hesitate. Girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. You go ahead, let your head down. Sapphire and faded jeans. I hope you get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your head down. You're gonna find yourself somewhere.
But you guys are super awesome. I can talk forever, but I did want to ask you guys some random things, such as what's your favorite science topic? So pick one, or as many as you want.
Our
curious to know what
favorite
intrigues
science
you.
topic?
Yeah, I know. I jump conversations. I just
So, like, this is Brighton. I totally watched, is it Nova? Like, I don't even remember, but, like, I think it's Nova with the black dude.
yes, was Neil deGrasse Tyson. Oh wait,
Yes.
it's Cosmos.
I always forget his name, which I shouldn't. But I am, like, so in love with biology. And, like, I remember seeing the DNA episode, and I was, like, kind of crying. I won't lie. I was like, oh, my God, DNA is amazing. And, like, how can this not be the most perfect universe? And, like, you know, everything is just so perfectly put together. I mean, my God, it's just amazing. I love biology. I love how things are functioning. And you're like, this is perfect. Like, the universe is just master of all. So that would be
I feel that way too. That's a good. I love biology for that reason too, because then it's like you get to see the universe and the physical, and it's like living. And when you mentioned DNA, it reminded me. Just recently, there was this article, actually a few studies, where they've been able to. They put a short film. They put like Windows 10, and they put like a song and a something else inside like a string of DNA. Like they were able to put all the data in there.
Wow.
And they were like, you know, if we can put all that in like if your string of DNA, I mean, it's like infinite. They can do like it's a huge deal, because it's like we don't even need to use, something like plastic or metal or anything like that. They're able to just put it into you, so you'll be able to carry around anything. Someone could be walking like the internet in their finger.
Wow.
I mean, I'm exaggerating, but okay.
I love it. Yes. I mean, it's like, yeah, they're just so. I'm like excited for the future. Like sometimes I'm sad that I'm like, oh, I can only live one life, just because I'm so excited to see what happens, with science and where it's going to take us.
Yeah, and I hope, that's why I hope we'll have all these conversations, because I want the right people to be in science. When I say the right people, I mean kind people. I want to have kind people who are just using this technology, so we don't have to think of the most evil ways we can use things.
Yeah.
Dina, what's your favorite science topic?
So I'm going to piggyback off Brighton a little bit and say the biology aspect. I just like how things work, but I'm also going to add, I like chemistry as well. And I say that because I like for instance, we use all these products, and if you don't know what's in these products, you could just be putting on like for instance, I'm going to say when I was looking at something, like what do you call that? Instant oatmeal. And coworker were talking about it, and then he was saying there's like, you have like strawberry instant oatmeal, and we were looking at something and it was like strawberries are made from like some weird part of an animal, and I'm like, so you wouldn't know that if you didn't actually research this stuff. So I feel like chemistry is important just for our everyday lives in regards to nutrition and what you're putting on your body and what you're putting in your body. So
Definitely.
I'm very big on like learning ingredients and learning what you're actually using. And I don't think people are very conscious of that. And there's a lot of things that we're putting on and using that are actually very harmful to our bodies.
So true. So true. I grew up being allergic to everything. So, right, I had asthma, I had like eczema, like anything would like trigger like me to break out in rashes, like my whole life. And and so I was just like used to being like, oh no, I've got this rash, I touched something or whatnot. And I got really sick in my 20s, and I got like a serious like skin infection. It lasted like 6 months, and my whole like identity fell apart like in the middle of it. And I quit everything. Like, I used to lather lotion on. Like, don't want to be ashy, like lathering lotion on. And I had to, like, cut everything. And I eventually, thank goodness, got better, like, with turmeric and, like, natural things. And I never went back to, like, using lotion. And I never had eczema again.
So do you use oils?
I do. I use coconut oil. Like, I'll just put it in my bath water, and then that's good. And then I use shea butter, like, for my feet because they can get pretty dry, and that works. But I don't overdo it. Like, putting oil in my bath is enough, or if I'm in the shower, like a spray or something. But I don't use I'm very simple because I'm allergic to a lot of things, and not knowing, for instance, like what a chemical does and what type of alcohol that is. Like, people are just oblivious, to what they put in themselves and their body. And even if they don't put it on their skin, like if you're on the junk food binge, you might think, oh yeah, I'm just on the junk food binge. But if you're being aware, you might be like, well, actually, my body needs potassium. And when's the last time did we have any potassium? Like,
right.
It's been a while. Just being aware helps. So, yeah. So, yeah, I feel the same way. I'm excited that you guys like science at all.
So, have you ever used vitamin E at all for?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I've used vitamin E oil. I haven't had any ill effects from it. I used it recently for something. I forget. Nails. Not myself. My daughter has thin nails, and she was just born with like thin nails. So we've always been, oh yeah, make sure you put vitamin E in jojoba, or I don't know how you say it.
Jojoba, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm pretty simple.
In Kundalini, I'm a yoga teacher, and so in Kundalini they always say that almond oil is supposed to be like the best oil, unfiltered almond oil.
I'm down for that too. I like all the oils. My favorite oil, which people think stinks, but it's the magic oil, is tea tree oil. If you're not allergic to it, it's great.
I love it on my hair.
Using it. Yes. People are like, what is that smell? I'm like, oh, you mean that smell?
I don't think it smells bad, though. Does it smell?
Yeah, I like it.
It grew on me. I like it, too. It smells clean.
It smells clean. Like, I love it on my hair. My hair feels so clean. Like, I'm like, oh, and it like tingles.
Yeah, and then, well, now it's trendy, right? Now I have to spend an extra $5 if I get something with tea tree in it. But back in the day,
right.
People were like, what is that? And I recommended it to my friend, and unfortunately he was allergic and his lip like exploded I was like, oh my God.
Whoops.
Because I had been pushing it on everyone. I was like, oh, you've got to get some of this. So now I always put a disclaimer, like, hey, unless you're allergic, like, do what they say. Try it on a small area of your body, not your lips or anything that may burst.
Oh my.
Yeah. Hey, you guys. So, what's the cool part of the show that I love and I hope you guys enjoy is you guys get to pick the soundtrack of the episode. So usually it's 3 songs, but there's 2 of you. So what we'll do is you'll tell me each 2 songs, and then one that you for sure want to have, and then the other one I'll pick out of. I'll flip a coin. So whoever wants to go first, you have to tell me 2 songs.
Dina, you go first.
I'm not ready. I wasn't ready for this part. Oh. So 2 songs that can be used in the show.
Yeah.
Right, you sure you want to go first?
Okay, I have one song.
Okay.
What song do you have?
Wait. Let me...
You can bring out your computer.
That's what I'm doing now. I'm like, wait a minute.
I think Corinne Bailey Ray, and I'm like, it's like, girl, put your records on.
Yeah, I know.
You can sing the chorus. You can sing the chorus, and then I'll Google it later.
And then there's one more, but I have to Google it really fast because I can't remember.
That's fine. And I didn't hear it. What did you say? What was your song?
Oh, girl, put your records on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
By Corinne Bailey Ray.
Okay.
I'm still thinking.
That's okay. I will edit the silence.
This is a hard one.
It's just like whatever comes up out of your gut right now. That will be what will be on the show. No pressure.
But Dina, everyone's gonna listen to it.
I know. I'm trying to think of like what even I listen to. I like listen to podcasts now. I don't listen to like. I never.
What
listen
about
to
old
radio.
songs?
I'm trying to think of something that like I would listen to, like in the last week or something. I'm drawing blanks, but I'm gonna look on a playlist I have. I'm sure I have something.
Okay. That works. I'm patient. So I like to listen. I listen to Selection a lot. Sorry if this is going to interrupt you guys' thoughts. I can be quiet.
No, it's okay.
Okay. I listen to Selection all the time, and I often use their show as the background music in the episode. And they play a lot of oldies mixed in with like new songs, but they're all reworked so they're like at a slower tempo. So I've been discovering
I like
music.
that.
Oh, is it like the Verve?
Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't know anything. I don't know. I'm not good at that.
They like take old songs and they like remix it, but they kind of intertwine like new things. Like I haven't seen it in a long time.
That sounds like what they are.
I definitely would like Cranes in the Sky would be one.
Oh, I like that.
Okay.
I'm thinking of.
And I have my second one. I found
Okay.
What's your second one?
It's Esperanza Spalding and Robert Glasper performing Afro Blue. And Afro Blue is like by this Cuban dude. And it's just such a beautiful song. And it has words by like a poet from Chicago, actually, that also lived in Compton. So that kind of like connects me and Dina in a way.
Oh, I like that.
But yeah,
That's
it's such
cool.
a cool song. So that's Afro Blue.
Oh, cool. So we got your 2.
Okay, and then I have my
So we
next
just-
one now.
Okay.
Rise Up by Andra Day. I love that song.
Oh, okay. This is going to be fun. Yay, these are good ones. I'm excited. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. And the last thing is you guys get to be the intro for the next show. So you say your name and your brand or your podcast, whatever you want to say, and that you're on the Dope Science Show. So, for example, you'll say, I'm Breton, and I'm Dina, and we are RootsnTech, and we are on the Dope Science Show, and then you can ad-lib or do whatever you guys want. You can take as many takes as you want. So that'll be the show. Next intro.
Okay,
You
cool.
should be used to that.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say.
So, Brighton, are you gonna start? So you'll say.
Okay, I'll start, and then you say. Should we say RootsnTech together?
We'll try it.
Okay.
Because we
Okay.
can't see each other, so I'm like, when are you gonna say it?
Right. Okay. So
do a countdown.
We'll do a little. Okay, I'll do a countdown. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hi, this is Brighton,
And this is Dina.
and we're
And
RootsnTech.
RootsnTech.
Okay, wait.
Take
Well,
one.
okay, I'll say this. I'll say, and we are, and then
Okay, and then we could do RootsnTech.
RootsnTech. Yeah, and I'll say Brighton, you say Dina, and I'll say we are, and then we'll say RootsnTech together. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Hi, this is Brighton,
And this is Dina.
and we are
RootsnTech.
RootsnTech. Okay, now I'll let you say it, Dina. I'll let you say RootsnTech. I'll say we are, and you say RootsnTech.
Good idea.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Hi, this is Brighton,
And this is Dina.
and we are,
RootsnTech.
and we're
Yeah!
so excited.
Oh, sorry, I messed it up.
Oh, wait, we're supposed
Try
to
it
say
again.
we're on the Dope Science Show?
I forgot. I got excited. I was like, we did it. My bad. Sorry.
No worries. I was like,
That
"Oh,
is funny.
Let's try it again.
Wait, so what do we say? Okay, so then we say, and then we're RootsnTech, and then what's the second half again?
And then I say we're so excited to be on the Dope Science Show, right?
Yeah, you're on the Dope Science Show.
Okay, cool. Okay.
And then
Okay.
we gotta like make it personal, like.
Yeah,
I'll
do what you want.
I'll say something, and then you say something after that, then. Make it personal.
Okay.
Like, we love
Okay,
stuff.
wait. So you said. You say, I'm Dina. We're our RootsnTech, and then you'll say something, Brian, after I say RootsnTech. Oh, you're gonna
Right.
say. We're on the dope side. We're on the dope
You're on the
side
Dope
show.
Science Show. Yeah.
And then you want me to say something, and then you'll say something.
No. Okay, so we'll do, so I'll say, this is Brighton, you'll say, this is Dina, I'll say, we are, and you'll say, RootsnTech. Oh, wait, actually, maybe say RootsnTech, the Diaspora podcast, or something like that. And then I'll say, we're so excited to be with Stephanie on the Dope Science Show. And if you want to make it personal, you can say something to personalize that.
But you don't have to.
Okay.
Whatever comes out.
I'm probably still gonna say it, but let's just do it anyway.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Hi, this is Brighton,
This is Dina,
and we are,
the RootsnTech podcast.
and we are so excited to be here with Stephanie on the Dope Science Show.
Can't wait for you guys to hear our tips. I messed up.
It's okay. I can
I
always
was like,
cut it
I
at We're on
can't
the Dope Science Show.
remember. Okay, so did you want to say anything after I was going to say, like, can't wait for you guys to hear the episode, and then I just lost it.
It's up to you guys. It's also fine at the Dope Science Show. There was a pause.
Okay. Do you want to just do it that way,
However
Brian?
you guys
Or
want.
your
Yeah, let's just do it that way. I was only adding it in because you said you went to personalize.
Right,
It's
and then I
hard.
went to personalize it, and I was like, I forgot words that exist to make sentences.
Oh my god.
This was
Do it
fun.
one more time, or is it good?
It's good to me.
Yeah, if you don't want to say anything, Dina, it's fine. Did you want to say something?
Oh, no, that's fine.
If you want to do it again.
Okay.
Oh, no. I don't want to say any more words.
All right, you guys. I appreciate you guys. This was so much fun. I will see what I can do to get up to the Bay, because that sounds like a blast. And I'm going to have to come to LA, which I do often anyways. And I'll try to catch up with you.
You're in San Diego, right?
Yeah, I just come up to LA a lot.
Where?
Yeah.
Because I'm a Cali girl, so I don't know.
Oh.
Like, how far is San Diego from?
Oh, yeah, I
the
forgot. It is far.
It's far?
But, yeah, but it's like, are we saying how far is San Diego from the Bay or from LA?
Yeah, to the Bay.
From the Bay?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a 2-hour flight if I flew.
Never mind.
Yeah. So I was up there like for the Afrotech, and I was supposed to go a month ago, but my trip got canceled. But I have friends there, so I'm open to it. So as always I have actually quite a few friends in the Bay now, so it's always like my to-do, like I need to go up there. So I'll see what I can do. I might try out the Air Affordable, you know?
Oh, right. Yes. Air Affordable.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
And then Dina and I are going to be at Nappywood in September. I think Dina's coming, but we're definitely doing a RootsnTech Millennial Summit in September, like the end, like the last weekend of September. So that's in LA, Stephanie.
I'll be there.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see you. Oh, you could be on our panel.
Yeah, I'll be on it.
Dina?
I'm down.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think, too, will we do sorry, I'm like, put my words together right now. Will we do a brunch for that as well? A tech therapy brunch thing?
I think that'd be cool. I think we should.
Okay.
I love brunch.
But I mean,
if you guys need help, just let me know.
Panel will definitely be a good fit. So if you would like to do that at what is it, Brian? End of September?
Right. Yeah. I'm like, you know what? I can tell you in like 2 seconds.
Okay.
Now, Stephanie, have you? Because I know Miami is like far, but have you heard of Black Tech Week?
I have. I haven't gone to anything. Afrotech was my first like tech thing.
Okay,
so
it's
I'm definitely open.
September 23rd and 24th. It's a Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Yeah, if we have a panel that I'm on, if I had any preference, I prefer Saturday, but I can do either day.
I think that is the community day. So there's one day that's for hair professionals, and then the first day is like more community. So like your daughter could come.
Oh, cool.
There's like a kids libation Kwanzaa parade. Yeah, so
got
your
really
Kwanzaa,
fun.
obviously, but it's all about community values.
Definitely. Well, I'm excited. Thank you guys for inviting me.
Yes.
Of course.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to let you guys go.
Okay.
Well, you guys have a great Sunday.
Yes. Have a great rest of the day,
too.
Stephanie. Thank you.
It was so fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye,
you.
y'all.
Yeah. Bye.
Well, thank you guys for listening to the show. I hope that you feel inspired. I hope you check out these events that the ladies are promoting. I hope that you guys reach out to them. Listen to the show, RootsnTech, and let's just be better. Talk to you soon. Peace.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains.